James David Manning is the chief pastor of the Atla World Missionary Church at 123rd Street in New York City. Atla stands for All the Land Anointed Holy, which is God's name for Harlem. Manning graduated from the College of New Rochelle with a Bachelor of Arts degree and continued on to the Union Theological Seminary in New York City, where he was awarded a Master of Divinity. Manning also holds a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the Atla Theological Seminary, and we really appreciate him coming on. He has a radio show and is very popular television program called The Manning Report. And I've gotten a lot of calls, a lot of emails the last 2 days since we linked to a video up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, where he talks about a very threatening meeting he had with the Secret Service / CIA. And if you don't know, the CIA works with the local New York police and the Secret Service. That's been admitted. And he said in the report that he believes he will be arrested. So to give us full details on what happened for the rest of this hour is Pastor James David Manning. And whether you love him or hate him, and I happen to really like him, I think he's a man of great courage and a great orator and teacher of the Bible as well. Whether you love him or hate him, he's got his First Amendment. And though I haven't seen all of his videos or read all of his work, I mean, he's always talking about what's going to happen in this country. He's certainly not calling for it. He's pointing out that Obama is butchering the Bill of Rights and Constitution. It's good to have you here with us, Pastor.
Thank you so very much, Alex, for having me on. I'm really delighted to be on your broadcast today. And let me say right away, I have, as millions of other Americans, have benefited greatly from your precise, eagle-eye vision teaching of what's happening in this nation from a political point of view, from a Federal Reserve point of view. The Obama deception, the fall of the Republic, has really become the college, the university, the place of education of Americans for actually how our government works globally, financially. We've all benefited greatly from your tireless expertise. So I just want to thank you for informing me of so many things that I could not have known without having gone through all of your presentations. So,
well, God bless you, Pastor. You've informed us of a lot as well. Why do you think that and this has been reported on the Senate floor by Senator Alexander, why do you think that we are now witnessing this attempt to intimidate myself, yourself, and many others, and then blow by blow, that's where everybody's tuning in right now, what exactly happened at your church earlier this week?
Well, to answer your first question first, I believe there are several things, and I pray that the audience will understand this in the light of which I mean it. I believe that Obama and all of his backers are convinced that they have the power to overthrow this nation. Therefore, they're not intimidated by the idea of threatening arrest or preparing to arrest. In many ways, a visit to your office, as they've done, could be very much a test of the American response to see how quickly or if the American people will remain asleep to this. The next time they come to your not mine, but to your ministry or office, it may be for the full arrest, and you'll never be seen again. To answer the second question, basically the same thing, but here's what happened on this past Monday night. Just 3 days ago, at 6 o'clock in the evening, I had just finished a broadcast that I do on the Manning Report. Just said my salutation for the evening, and someone knocked on the door and told me that the Homeland Security was in the building, and they wanted to speak to me. Well, I was in a different part of the building, so I said, all right, okay, bring them up. What am I going to do? They're here. They came up, two members of Homeland Security who identified themselves as CIA agents, and I thought that was interesting. I thought that would be for foreign intrigue or foreign concerns. And then they said also we're part of Homeland Security. They also had with them two members who were detectives of the 28th Precinct, New York City Police Department. But the detectives that they had were part of the riot control. I know those two detectives because I've worked in this community for quite some time. They knew me. Outside of the building were other Homeland Security officers, whether Secret Service or CIA, and other riot police flanking the building. Now, I've never said anything that indicated that I'm against violence violence, or that I'm for violence, rather, or that I would respond violently. I've never indicated that in anything that I've said since I've been talking about Obama or preaching or anything else. They came prepared for violence. They came into my study and stated they wanted to talk to me. And I asked them, okay, well, what does he want to talk about? They pointed out that I stated in one of the video postings a week or so ago, and I addressed the Tea Party people, telling them how futile it was running around doing what they were doing because they were getting nowhere. And if they spent the money and energy that they spent on the birth certificate issue, his eligibility, they could get somewhere, and then we could finally bring him to trial, and we could find him guilty of treason and execute him and shoot him. That's what I said. And they then responded to me by saying, are you saying shoot the president? I then asked them if I was under arrest, and they said no. Then I said, I have nothing further to say to you if I'm not under arrest. And they said they got up and they left. And one fellow left his card, the part of the Homeland Security group. They walked out. I haven't seen hide nor hair of them since. I do expect, however, to be arrested. I mean, I've thought about this. I've prayed about it. I've looked at it carefully. And I'm sure that what they're doing simply was to test the waters. And not so much, they know who I am. They've studied everything I've said. I have not advocated the overthrow of the government. I've not advocated violence towards the government. Indeed, I've advocated the upholding of the Constitution. I think what they were doing, and I'm clear about it now, is they want to see what kind of support I have and how would the American people respond to arrest. I believe the people that have been visited by the Secret Service, Homeland Security, all are going to be arrested shortly. Well, not shortly, by tomorrow, I mean. But in due course, if you've been visited by the Secret Service under the Obama administration, except we remove him from office, you're going to be arrested. They're not dumb, the Secret Service Department. They test once that you go on their blacklist or their enemies list or Obama's enemies list. They come and test you. They come and test a response. They come and test their case against you. But they've already made the decision. You're going to be arrested. It's going to happen. Either that, they're going to assassinate you.
Well, to be clear, I had not seen the video you're discussing in question, and I know that you've never called for any violence. Specifically, you're saying through a judicial process, if anyone was found guilty of treason or high treason, we know what the penalties are under federal law. My issue, Pastor Manning, and I don't believe you threatened the president, and I believe it was your First Amendment right to say that. My issue is, if anything ever happened to Obama, they would turn him into a martyr, a saint, when he is a larger front for the overall New World Order. I know from your research you believe he is even more evil and more powerful than that. Maybe you're right. He is very charismatic and very slick and is certainly the 2.0 of New World Order puppet. But I certainly hope that the Secret Service doesn't come and arrest you, because you've stated you're not calling for violence. You're calling for...
Alex, what I have done repeatedly, I've appealed to all Americans far and wide. Please protect this man's life. Do him no harm. The worst thing that could happen, in my view, is for someone to assassinate him. There are two reasons why. Number one is that we would probably never get the opportunity to demonstrate his ineligibility and the fraud that he has perpetrated on this nation or the people that have put him up to it. But even more important than that, he would be turned instantly into a martyr. He would be more popular and powerful than Jesus. He's already more popular and powerful than Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Don't kill this man. I've said that repeatedly over and over again. I need him alive. I want him to live.
And I have heard you say that repeatedly, so we're on the same page there. Then, well, you were smart not to talk to them there on their fishing expedition, but the way you describe them coming in force is very, very concerning. You know, my issue is the few times they've been here, they always claim that they're here for one reason, but then they start bringing up other issues and asking me my views on the president and asking me my views on my listeners and, probing and then calling my employees, not just coming, but calling random extensions and asking my employees things about my operation, about our servers, about our websites. And I just wonder how they get so many men to willfully engage in Nazi or /Soviet or Maoist tactics. I mean, that's very un-American to have political police or commissars like they had in Russia creeping around. And I certainly hope that your discernment's wrong, but I know you do have, I do respect you and respect your discernment.